And joining us now is Washington Examiner contributor Tyler Grant. There's a lot to digest here, but what's the immediate message of having Xi Jinping meeting? It's the first time in, 20 years that the Chinese leader has gone to North Korea, the photos now that will be coming out?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it's a way in which the two are going to leverage against the president. I mean, as we go forward with the trade negotiations in Osaka, the president's going to have to come to the table with President Xi and come up with a way to combat the fact that American goods have gone up 20.7%, while at the same time the Chinese are finding ways to, with other countries, bring their goods down an average of 6%. And so the president's going to have to come to the table, and if the two of them are able to, navigate some sort of deal where they leverage against the president, we're going to be in a bad situation going forward.
There's a lot of ifs there, though, right? There's the if President Xi can somehow figure out a situation with Kim, which seems somewhat unlikely, right? Because he hasn't been able to necessarily in the past. Then there's the if of President Trump and President Xi actually being able to agree upon anything in Osaka, which also seems unlikely, I would say. I mean, what do you think?
Well, I think President Xi knows that he can just play the man. I mean, you saw President Trump tweets about the tariffs and $1.3 trillion is taken off global stocks. If going forward as we go into 2020, if President Xi just waits out President Trump, he knows that American farmers, American companies are they're going to punish the president at the ballot box.
Sheila, did you want to get in on this?
Yeah, no, I would agree with everything he said. I think, as the president keeps putting pressure and blame on the Fed for, any kind of slowdown in the economy, he really should let Jay Powell do his job, and he should do his job, and he should negotiate and finalize a trade agreement. It's hurting our economy. It's going to hurt his reelection prospects next year. So I just think this is really the issue, and if we did get a good trade agreement with China, it would be hugely beneficial to our economy and the stock market in a way that's really contributing to economic growth, not through monetary policy. And I would also say his bashing. I was just in China last week. I was speaking at the Lijiazui Forum, and I had a lot of conversations with government officials and other people in the Chinese financial industry. There's a widespread perception, I think erroneous, that the Fed is making interest rate decisions based on trade policy. And I don't think that for a New York minute, but that's the impression that is created when our president bashes the Fed. The Fed's just trying to do what's right for our economy. So he should do his job, let Jay Powell do his job, and it'll all be a lot better.
Now, of course, our definition of what would be a good trade agreement with China has completely changed.
At this meeting is actually Xi trying to give the president a victory on the North Korea negotiations so that the president and the administration give China something in the trade negotiations, and everyone can say we won something somewhere.
Make each other look good, yeah.
Yes.
I mean, we've had some wins. I mean, the fact that some IP protection has gone into effect in China, but I think that we took a little bit of a hit with the Huawei ban, and I know that they're going to retaliate with what they are calling like problematic,
a blacklist,
right? Yeah. Problematic U.S. companies, and I think that we're gonna suffer at that. I mean, I think one way that we could win is the Belt and Road Initiative in China is a big push forward. It's a big, keynote plan of President Xi, certainly speaking to his legacy. And I think American steel could really be effective. American infrastructure products could be something that we could, meet them at the table and provide. And I think that could be a win at the summit.
All right, we'll see. Tyler, thank you so much. Washington Examiner contributor Tyler Grant.